Hello everyone, welcome to Bizotech. The topic we will be discussing today is something that all of us have experienced in one or the other way or in one or the other time. So let's begin with today's topic, simple interest and compound interest. Before getting into simple interest and compound interest, there are some basic terms that you should be aware of, and those terms are the first one, interest. As this chapter completely deals with interest, this interest plays a majority role. It is the cost of borrowing money, as in case of interest charge on a loan balance. In simple terms, interest is nothing but the extra money that you will get when you deposit a money, or the extra money that you have to pay when you lend money or get money for loan. Interest can be calculated in two ways, simple interest or compound interest. Next, what is this principle? The original sum of money loaned or deposited. The total amount, that principle is called as principal amount. Time, the duration for which the money is borrowed or deposited. For how long you have deposited money. So that will be the time period. And the last important term, rate of interest. The percent of interest that you pay for money borrowed or earn for money deposited, like 5% or 10% or whatever the interest. So that is called as the rate of interest. So now let's directly move on to simple interest. It is calculated on the principal or original amount of a loan. It remains fixed over time, which means once credited does not earn interest on itself. So what is the meaning of this? Let me explain you in simple terms. Suppose you have deposited 1000 rupees in a bank and you are getting 10% interest on that. So after a year, 10% of 1000, which is 100 rupees, will be added to this. So then 1100. So what is the meaning that it does not earn itself? In the sense, for the second year you will not get 10% on 1100, you will still get 10% on 1000 only. So then the amount will become 1200. So this is what simple interest is all about. And in order to calculate simple interest, we have the following formula: PTR divided by 100, where P is the principal sum or the original amount, whether you give to someone or deposited. Then R is the rate of interest and T is the time period. So along with this, there is one more thing. So that is the amount. If P amount is borrowed at the rate of interest R for T years, then the amount to be repaid to the lender will be like, what is the total amount including your principal amount and interest? So that is given by A is equal to P plus SI. So calculate the interest, then add it to the principal amount that you have borrowed or given. That gives the total amount which has to be repaid. So this is a very simple concept of simple interest. I hope this is clear, and let's move on to the compound interest. What is compound interest? It is calculated on the principal amount and also on the accumulated interest of previous periods, and can thus be regarded as interest on interest. So in compound interest case, if you consider the same example, this 1000 rupees giving you 10%, it will become 1100, and for the second year you would get 10% on 1100, which will give you 110 rupees. So your sum will be 1210 rupees. So this is the reason why this is called as interest on interest. So the interest will also earn money for you. And how to calculate compound interest? So that's based on a formula. So whatever I told you has been given here. So compound interest is equal to 1 plus R divided by 100 whole power n. So this is for n years compound interest, and Ci is the compound interest, R is the rate of interest. So the formula to calculate the compound interest is 1 plus R divided by 100 whole power n. And this interest rates can be calculated in variable conditions and dimensions. Let's see that in the note. The interest for the first month is same in both simple interest and compound interest. From second month, the interest starts changing. Very true. When it comes to simple and compound interest, whatever the interest it is, it will remain same based on the principal amount. But in compound interest case, the interest will also start earning after the first term or first year. So let's see what are all the different cases. When money is compounded annually, so that means the interest is calculated per year. Compound interest is calculated as P into 1 plus R by 100 whole power n. If the money is compounded half yearly, so that is twice in a year, compound interest will be P into 1 plus R by 2 divided by 100 whole part 2n. So what is changing? N, the P rate is changing and rate of interest is being reduced to half because half yearly we are calculating it. When money is compounded quarterly, once in 4 months, then obvious R by 4 and it rise to 4n. And there is one more case where money is compounded monthly. So then 12n because 12 months are there for a year. So these are all the different ways of calculating compound interest. And amount when it comes to compound interest is equal to CI plus P. And here you have all those abbreviations. P is principal, R is rate of interest, N is time in years, or it can be T or N. Both of them will be same. A is amount, I is compound interest. Whatever the term that you take, you have to just make sure that you carry the same forward throughout your learning. So now with this, let's move on to the important formula. So apart from this, there are different ways of calculating rate of interest. How to do that? When the when the rates are different for different years, say first year some 5%, second year 10%, third year 15%. So the rates are changing. So then what about the final amount? Amount is equal to principal into first year compound, second year compound, and third year compound. In simple interest, it remains same over the years. So here why we don't have whole power n, because we already have the interest reduced for 1 year, second year, third year. So n will not come in this picture. So next, the present worth of rupees x due. So if there are any money which is due, so that case also you will see in problems. So present worth will be is equal to x divided by 1 plus r divided by 100 whole power n. If a certain sum becomes x times in n years, so some amount 750 has become 7500 in 5 years. So in that case, how to calculate compound interest, rate of interest? That is possible by calculating the rate of interest is equal to 100 into x power 1 by n minus 1. And then we have one more important formula. If a sum of money P amounts to A1 after T years at CI, and the same sum of money amounts to A2 after T plus 1 year. So when the years are changing, the amount will also change. So during that time, rate of interest is calculated as the difference of both the years divided by initial year into 100. And the last one, amount due at the end of the period, A is equal to P plus SI. So SI formula you know, PRT divided by 100. So all that really matters in compound interest or simple interest or whatever the interest that you're calculating is, remembering this formula, making sure that you remember these formula. So with when you know all these necessary concepts in a clear way, so once when we go to our next videos where we solve different problems in different dimensions and different cases, you will be able to crack it in a very easy manner. So I hope this concept was clear and it helped you to understand about SI and CI in a better way. Thank you so much for watching.